DIY can not only save you tons of money, but oftentimes we give you a much better product offering flexibility and customization. In today's video, we're going to build this custom pantry, tally the cost of materials as we go, and see just how much money we save. My inspiration for this build is this 8-foot tall pantry sold at Home Depot for about $2,700. It features 5 soft closing drawers made out of 1/2-inch plywood all the way around. It comes in 2 sections, a 3-foot base and a 5-foot top. It's 24 inches deep, 18 inches wide, and has a nice profile on the side. In our build, our pantry is going to be roughly the same size. The difference is we're going to build it out of 3/4 inch plywood. The back will still remain 1/2-inch plywood, but also it's going to be one full piece and not the 2 pieces like this one. The current countertop does hang over about 1.5 inches, so I'm going to have to cut that back. I'm also going to have to cut back the current backsplash. As I'm getting ready to cut it off, I can see my dog looking with some concern. I think he knows something is getting ready to happen, and from the look at his face, it don't look like he likes it too much, but we're going to continue on. There are a couple of obstacles in the way. One is this can light that's above, which is going to be in the pantry if I don't move it, so I'm going to have to move that. Also, I have a GFI plug that the cabinet is going to go over. Now, I could move that GFI, but it is connected to a lot of the circuits in the kitchen, so I think the best option in this case is to actually have it accessible within the pantry. And finally, I'm going to have to remove the base and the trim so I can have a nice even flush surface to work with. The toe is about 3.5 inches out and about 4.5 inches up. So I definitely want to match that same profile, so when I build the pantry, it'll look like it was always there. The face of the cabinets will be made out of 1x2, so we have to take that 3/4 inch thickness of that wood off the overall width of the cabinet, which will give us 23 1/4 inch sides. The back panel will be made out of 1/2-inch plywood. The top, middle, and bottom panels will be made out of 3/4 inch plywood, and we're going to dado out the side panels so they can receive all of those pieces. The dado depth will be 1/4 inch. So when we're cutting all our pieces that go into the sides, we have to take and accommodate for that 1/4 inch on either side, which gives us an extra 1/2 inch to the overall inside measurements. Here it just takes a little bit of math. So to figure out our inside panels, we look at the overall measurement, which is 18 inches of the pantry, each side being 3/4 inch thick. So that's 1.5 inches that you have to subtract from your overall measurement of 18 to equal 16.5. Now add the 1/2 inch back for the dado, and you get 17 inches for your back, top, middle, and bottom panels. See, wasn't that hard? The biggest thing to remember when laying out your side panels is that they're going to be mirror images of each other. It's really easy to make the mistake of laying out one and then transferring that over to the other one. What you end up with is either 2 left sides or 2 right sides. This is really critical when you laying out your toe. Because again, that toe on your left side is going to be a mirror image to the one on the right side. So just always think about that as you're going forward laying out your panels. I'm doing 2 middle permanent shelves because my table saw only goes up to about 36 inches. And so if I'm cross-cutting across my dado, those 3/4 inch dados that I need, I'm not going to be able to get one in the center. And that's okay because it also leaves room for that GFI that I have to notch out from the back. I set up my dado, and then I used a test piece of wood to make sure that my depth was good and also to make sure my width is good. And as you can see, the plywood fits in that groove perfectly. I made all my cuts, I notched out for my toe kit, and I dadoed out the 1/2 inch for the back and the 3/4 inch for the top, middle, and bottom panels. Now it's just a matter of assembling it. I'm using Gorilla Glue, tacking it with a couple of brad nails here and there, clamping it all down, and just letting it sit for the night. Measure for the toe kit, installed that, and now it's time to install the cabinet in its place. For the frame, I'm just using finished grade 1x2 pine. I kept it real simple and used pocket screws to assemble the frame. The overall width is 18 1/4, which allows for a 1/4 inch reveal on the right side, and on the left side it's going to be flush because we're going to add decorative casing. The overall height is from the top of the pantry to a little bit past the top of the toe at the bottom. I'm going to attach it with glue, nails, and clamp it. The 2 permanent shelves gives you 3 compartments. The bottom compartment going to do 3 sliding drawers, the middle compartment 2 sliding drawers, and the top compartment 1 sliding drawer and a fixed shelf up top that's going to be cut back a little bit to allow better access. Although the model pantry did have bottom mounting slides on it, I went with side mounting slides because of cost. Everything I sourced was about $60 to $70 for the undermount slides, and I got these off of Amazon for about $9 per slide. And that's a set. And so it was just more feasible for me to do it that way. And then plus these slides can hold 100 pounds. And it's good for me. And look, nothing's going to be in these pantries that's going to weigh more than 100 pounds. But I did have to fur out the sides. I used 1x3 for that. I used 1x3 because that's what I'm using for the drawers. Now, I installed them evenly. I installed them at the same spots on either the left side and the right side, and I did a mark down the middle, straight down the middle of those boards. I did the same thing with the 1x3 that the drawers made of. I put the slides directly in the middle of the line, and then that way when I put the drawers on, they are perfectly level and I'm not fighting them, because mountain slides can be challenging, but doing it this way, I found it to be a lot easier, and it took a lot of the guesswork out of it. Instead of using a lot of measurements and doing a lot of math, what I did was I installed the sides of the drawers in place without the backs or the fronts on. Made sure that they were sliding really good, and then I measured what my front and back boards needed to be from that. That way, I'm not building, 6 drawers and then all of a sudden I'm fighting with them. I think it's just a lot easier and sort of like a cheat code for this, and it really works out well. So for those that may not or might seem that building drawers is challenging, if you follow this method, it really is simple. Just like the pantry sides, I also dadoed out the drawers. That allows for the back panel to go inside, the front panel on the outside, and then the side panels are also all dadoed out a 1/2 inch up from the bottom, about 3/8 of an inch, all the way around, and that way the 1/2 inch drawer bottom goes inside of the sides by 1/4 of an inch on all sides, which makes for a very strong drawer, which should last a lifetime. I used wood glue to assemble the drawers, tacked them up with brad nails, clamped them, let them sit, and they actually went in very smooth. I couldn't find the exact crown molding, but I matched it up as best as I could. One of the things that I did was I took the crown molding off of the adjacent cabinets, wall cabinets, and I just went around that whole section. That way it gives it a more cohesive look with the rest of the kitchen, and if you really look at it, you really can't tell that the crown molding is just a little different detail than the rest of the kitchen. I built the door out of 3 1x3s. I needed a combination of 4 router bits. 3 of the bits came in a set, and I'll leave the link in the description. So one bit does the stiles, the other bit does the rails, and then the other bit notches out the back of the wood so it can receive a glass panel. And then the 4th bit was so I can match the profile, the outer edge profile of the existing cabinets. I think it turned out really good. If there was anything that I would have done different, I probably would have used harder wood, and then also the frost panel tempered glass that we purchased would probably have that more frosty so it wouldn't be so transparent. In the store it looks really frosty, but when I got it and actually had it installed, you can actually see the stuff behind it. And so that's the only thing that I would really change about that. I used a total of 6 concealed soft closing hinges because I wanted to make sure that the door stayed on and there was no issues with it actually closing. And now it's just a matter of installing a decorative casing on the left side, caulking and puttying everything up, painting, and putting the final trim on. Now that everything is painted, we've been using this pantry for a while now. You can see that it just has a cohesive look with the rest of the kitchen. It looks like it has always been here. Again, the one that they quoted us at Home Depot, that was $2,700, and that was without a glass panel. And so yeah, to go from that and just $500 and have this outcome, I am so happy about it. I appreciate you all sticking around this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. Until the next time.